excited about this update, and I have been doing rather well on my Pan That palette. This is my 2020 Pan That palette update 4.
Storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't.
Very exciting progress to share, and if you want to see how well I have done on my Pan That palette so far, then just make sure to keep on watching. But first, make sure you guys subscribe by clicking that subscribe button. Also, while you're at it, be sure to turn on those notifications so that YouTube will notify you every time I upload. All you have to do is click the little bell and bam, you're good to go. I'm very proud of the progress that I have made so far on my Pan That palette, and we will get into it now.
And on we'll go.
Hello, how is everybody? Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new here, hi, welcome to the family. I would surely hope that you would subscribe. My Pan That palette for the year 2020 is the Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions palette. I will link the playlist in the cards to the other updates and the intro to this project if you are curious as to why I chose this as my Pan That palette for the year. This is my first year doing a Pan That palette, and I want to say I've been doing rather well so far. About a month in on my Pan That palette, I decided to go ahead and add in an accompany palette as well, just to kind of mix it up and give me a little more color variation than just using mauve tones all year round. Not just using this palette for the year all year, obviously, as I'm wearing a bright orange look. But my main focus palette definitely has been the Mauve Obsessions. So I went ahead and I added the Bad Habit Aurora palette in, which has more color variation. I'm really excited. I have one new pan that I hit to share with you guys. And I have definitely made quite a bit of progress and some dips in a lot of my shades. I really have been enjoying this palette, and it is just a great staple palette it has become in my collection. I've been making a point to use this at least twice a week, every single week, if not more. You guys know I have been keeping tallies of my usage on this palette just to help me understand and see how many uses it would take to hit pan in the shadows and how many uses exactly it will take to like finish a whole shadow in the palette. And then a total calculating all usage combined on like how many times I have used the palette for the whole year. I would like to do that, and I'm actually going to calculate all my uses this month since it is the 6th month in on the project, and see how many times I have dipped my brush into the palette for the last 6 months. I really have been creating a lot of beautiful looks with this, and of course I will insert some photos of some looks that I create along the way using this palette. It is great for just everyday, day-to-day type of looks, as you can see from some of the photos. Just a great neutral eye look you can create with it, and you can also go very bold and really amplify your looks with this palette as well. Let me go ahead and show you guys the newest pan to the family, and that is the darkest maroonish brown shade here. I finally hit pan on that, and I'm actually really impressed, and I'm really shocked that I managed to hit pan, my third pan, on one of the darker shadows in the palette, just because darker shades are really hard to hit pan on. But I'm not surprised because I do use this shade almost every single day when I use this palette to darken up my outer V. There is the newest pan. So I have a total of 3 pans in the palette now. You can see I got quite a nice few dips in the rest of the shades. We're making great progress so far. It took me a total of 58 uses to hit the pan on the dark maroon shade. So my average going rate to hit pan is about between 35 to 40 uses typically in an eyeshadow, but this one has definitely taken a little longer with 58 uses, just because I feel like I don't use as much product as I would, let's say, like the middle neutral brown shade or even the bone cream shade here. So 58 uses and we hit the pan. So it just goes to show you that each shadow is truly unique in a sense that it takes a different amount of usage to hit pan. Like the white cream shade, it took me 37 uses before I hit that pan. And then the middle neutral shade was the quickest at 33 uses it took me before I hit the pan. And this one at 58 uses. So it really just varies. It depends on what you're using that shadow for and obviously how much of the product you are using each time. My next goal, I would like to actually try to hit pan on any one of the shimmer shades. Something tells me it's going to be either between this one or the light creamy peachy shade right here will be hopefully my next one of the two pans that I will hit, even maybe this one. But I would ideally like my next pan to be one of the shimmer shades. So I'm really going to focus on the shimmer shades and continue to focus on the whole palette, but really give my attention to these shimmers next and see if I can't hit pan on one of those. Let me go ahead and turn the palette right side up since I usually turn it the other way so I don't blind you guys. And from left to right, I'm going to go ahead and go over my usage so far. The darkest brick red shade I have used 20 times. The middle shimmer shade I have used 14 times. The lightest pink shimmer I have used 22 times. The sparkling red shimmer I have used 18 times. The middle neutral brown shade I have used 62 times. The brick red matte shade I have used 31 times. The darkest brown shade I have used 58 times. The light cream shade I have used 77 times, and the darkest reddish brown shade I have used 21 times. So this is what it's looking like so far. And not too bad, you guys. I'm really quite impressed. I really wanted to make it a point to really focus hard on my project pans and my pan those eyeshadows and my pan that palette for the month of May, since I had a lot of new product coming into my collection for April with my birthday and everything. And I gotta say, I've done very well. I'm excited to share the new pan in here with you guys, and I will continue to just continue using this at least twice a week. I have been setting monthly goals on my palette as well. My goal for the month of May was to just continue to expand both the pans that I already had, which I did. So I have a surprise pan. It's not necessarily a surprise pan because I'm trying to pan the palette, but it was unexpected in the sense that I wasn't like planning to hit the pan. So that was really nice. I definitely hit my goal in expanding both of those pans. They have gotten a little bit bigger there. So for the month of June, I would like to set my little monthly goal on this to hit pan on any of these shimmer shades and just continue to use the palette at least twice a week. For my 6-month goal on this, since we are 6 months in the project right now, was to hit pan in 2 shades, and I have hit pan in 3 shades, so that goal is met. I changed the goal to hit pan on 4 shades, which I didn't meet that goal, but I almost did with 3 pans, so not too bad. And then my year-long goal for the palette is to try to hit pan in every shade, and just, continue to keep track of my usage with tallies, which I'm obviously doing that. The end-all goal would be to try to finish the entire palette, but I definitely don't think I'll be able to finish the entire palette. So I'd like to add a year-end goal on this to at least try to finish 1 entire shade in the palette. That is the progress so far for the Huda Beauty, my main pan that palette. Now, let's go ahead and I will share the progress with you guys with the companion palette, the Bad Habit Aurora palette. Now, this palette, I'm not keeping track of tallies or usage or anything like that. Here is what she looks like this month. As you can see, I have definitely made some dips bigger. I have definitely expanded the pan in the shade Vibe, which is also in my Never Have I Ever project pan that I am solely doing on Instagram. I have definitely made some of these shimmer shades dips a lot bigger. For the month of May, I made this shade Ethereal Manifest and Radiate, my focus shades for the month, and I'm really quite impressed, especially Radiate, because I have not even used Radiate prior to May at all, which is why I wanted to make it a focus shade. So I definitely made a nice big dip in that, as well as Ethereal has a really nice dip. I feel like I'm going to be hitting pan in Ethereal pretty soon, and Soul as well, which is just a beautiful gold shade, as well as Manifest has a nice dip in it. And I have expanded the pan also in Awakening. I like to set these kind of monthly goals on these to just kind of give me something to focus, an objective to have, an accomplishment towards the end of the month each month. It kind of helps motivate me and stuff. You know, even though the end all result is to try to pan these entire palettes, I know that's just not realistic for me personally. So by setting these short monthly goals on them, it really just helps keep me motivated to want to continue to do a pan that palette as a whole. My monthly goal for May for this palette was to use every shade at least 2 times, which I definitely have done that. Hit pan on any shade, which no new pans yet, but that's okay. We're definitely getting close in a couple of these shimmers. Do 2 looks with just this palette, which was a rollover goal from April. And I will insert a photo here of a couple looks that I managed to do with just this palette alone. I think I might have dipped into the Huda Beauty just to make sure I was using both my Pan That palettes. And as you can see, the look came out really, really beautiful. And I just really love this palette. It helps give me some color variation in conjunction with the Mauve Obsessions. There's just something about these 2 palettes that just pair so beautifully together. As you can see from the look that I created using the 2 palettes combined, it is just a really stunning look. I used Ethereal on my lid and then some of the mauve tone mattes in here in my crease, and it just made for a really beautiful look. So since we are at the 6-month point, my 6-month goal for my companion palette was, and I'm looking down at my notes you guys, was to hit pan on 3 shades, which I definitely hit that goal, so that is really nice. Since I had met that goal, I also added to hit pan in 3 more shades, which we didn't hit 3 more pans yet, but that's okay. There's definitely, again, some nice dips, and I feel I will be hitting pan again very soon. And for my year-long goal for the companion palette, I set it to just hit pan in 7 of the shades. We have 3, and I'm pretty confident and hopeful that I will be able to hit pan in at least 4 more shades by the end of the year. I can't believe we are halfway through the year already, you guys. It is absolutely crazy how fast time flies by. We will just continue to work on this. I would like to set my monthly goal and I want to set some focus shades again for the month of June on this palette, and I want to make the shade Energy be my focus shadow for the month, as well as continue to work on Ethereal and possibly hit pan in that shadow, and then also start working a little more on the shade Phenomenon. I also want to set another goal to do at least 2 more looks for the month of June with just this palette, and then do another look with the palettes combined, and of course continue to use my Pan That palette twice a week, if not more, which I have been doing very easily. So yes, I'm very hopeful and I'm feeling very motivated with my Pan That palette and my Accompany palette. It was such a good idea to add this in as an Accompany palette to just kind of, you know, break up the monotony, because I do really focus and I give a lot of my attention to my Pan That palette. So I just thought it was a great idea to add this Accompany palette in, and it really has been helping make it a little more fun and just to give me some more color variation, because you guys can tell I love my colorful looks. Every time I come on here, I'm always wearing some kind of bright look. I am doing a 30-day makeup challenge over on my Instagram right now, and there will be a winner at the end of the month. I keep track of everybody who participates. Each day I assign a new makeup challenge. That's everything for this update, you guys. We're just gonna keep working, and hopefully I will have some more pans to share by the next month's update. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, you guys. It helps my channel out so much. Subscribe and comment down below. And until my next video, everybody enjoy the rest of their day. Bye.